Our final speaker this afternoon is Cade Kellam. As you might have guessed, Cade is an Alpha and Omega, and he will be speaking with you all about the impact of music in his life.
Everyone has that one thing that allows them to escape from all the other crazy stuff that goes on in this world. Today, I want to talk to you about my greatest passion, music. Because for me, music has always been that one thing. Whether it's been through playing the drums or singing, music has always been there for me when nothing else has. And for those of you who know me, you know that I love playing the drums. I could spend hours talking about the different cymbals I picked out and what sounds they get, the different woods that make up my drum shells and the different ply constructions and why that changes the sound of the drums, because I just love drums. And really ever since I was 12 or 13, playing the drums has been one of my favorite things in this entire world to do. And the reason I say since I was 12 or 13 and not since I was earlier is because, yes, I played drums earlier in my life, but when I was 12 or 13 is when I really started practicing. But it's really a miracle that I even still play drums today, because when I was about 5 years old, my parents bought me one of those little first act drum sets that I feel like all of us have probably owned at one point in our lives. And I loved it. I played it all the time. And so one day, my dad decided it would be a great idea to take it and throw it in the trash. And along with that went all of my hopes and dreams of becoming a musician one day. But going into my junior year, that's when I really started to practice the drums. My parents got me a new drum set when I was about 9 years old, and I loved it. I practiced all the time. My drum teacher is Miss Pavlicek's dad. His name is Mr. Spagner, and along with him and the other mentors I've had in my music through the years, being Mr. Stewart, the choir director, Miss Love, my voice teacher, and Kyle, my youth worship pastor, I've learned to practice. I remember coming back from a music camp I did in Nashville and getting to actually meet Rich Redmond, who is Jason Aldean's drummer. And we just saw him in a guitar center in Nashville, and he talked to me for about 10 minutes about the importance of practicing when other people are in there watching TV and hanging out, that you have to practice. And I really took that with me. You know, every free time that I had, I was practicing. If I was in my room watching TV, I would have my practice pad out and I'd be just doing rudiments, trying to get better. Or I would spend hours upon hours in my room playing my drums, trying to get as good as I could. And that taught me a lesson. And that was that if you want to be as good as you can be at something, you have to work. And I mean really work. Because yes, you can be naturally talented in an area of your life, but if you don't work, you're not going to be as great as your potential will allow you to be. And that's helped me in many areas of my life, including school. It's helped me maintain the grades I have and raise my grades even to be able to get into the colleges that I want to. And it's even helped me with other aspects of music, like singing. My mom always tells me how when I was too young to even remember, I would just be walking around the house singing at the top of my lungs. And I honestly have no clue why. Singing has just always been there. It's always been something that I love to do. And you know, obviously over time, that love has developed into more than just annoying my parents around the house. When I was in third grade, I played Willy Wonka in the school musical, and as time has progressed, so has my love for singing. But it really wasn't until my junior year that I started applying myself and working. Because my freshman and sophomore year, I've always just been kind of naturally talented at singing, so I made it into the TPSMEA, the private school honors choirs. And I loved it. I loved the experience. I loved getting to go with my friends and have a good time. But I never really applied myself, and I never really loved the music side of it until my junior year, when I decided that I was going to try to make it into the TMEA small school all-state choir. And I did. All the hard work that I learned from playing the drums paid off, and I made it into the choir. But along the way, actually, I got to sing with the TMEA Large School Region Choir. And for those of you who don't know, TMEA Large School State Choir is one of, if not the most prestigious high school choirs in America. Close to 20,000 kids audition each year, and only about 250 get in. So to get to sing with one of their region choirs was a life-changing experience for me. I remember the performance, I remember all the rehearsals, but specifically, I remember one rehearsal where the director had us go around, and if we wanted to, share why we were there and why music was important to us. And that's when I realized how powerful music could be, because we were all sitting there, 250 of us, with completely differing worldviews, completely different reasons why we were even there in the first place, and yet we came together collectively and made something more beautiful than any of us could do on our own, because music has the power to unite people. And even more than choir music, worship music has had more of an impact on my life than I can even explain. Because yes, playing music and playing the drums and singing is my passion, but even more than that, I'm passionate about giving that back to something greater than myself. So the idea that I can actually give back to the God of the universe with something that he's gifted me with is mind-blowing to me. The way I see it, he's given me a gift, and the only valid response is to give that back to him and to worship him with it. So I've gotten to do that through Ignite, the student-led ministry that started last year that a lot of you probably heard of, in my church, Fielder Road Church, through their student ministry. I've been given the opportunity to lead worship for people, and it's been really life-changing for me, because I've gotten to see Jesus use me and all of my failures and insecurities to actually help people in their lives and bring them closer to him. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned through music, is to be selfless with the things that you love and the things that you're good at. You can't keep it to yourself. You can't keep the thing you love to yourself. It's taught me to share my passions with everyone, and that's what I want to leave you guys with today, because all of us have something that we love, something that we're good at, something that we're passionate about. And I want to encourage you guys to not keep it to yourself, but to share it with the world and make the world a better place. And now, to wrap up all of the senior speeches in this first round, I'm going to invite Mike to come back up on stage with me, and we're actually going to play one of the original worship songs that I wrote about a year ago. You called me out, you heard my cry, and from the depths these dead bones rise. You took my sin, oh, you put it to shame. And for your glory, Lord, I will praise. In our death, you give life as you take your place. Where there's hurt, you take away the pain. You are God, you are good, so we lift our praise. In our death, your mercy takes its place. Thank you. I'll have a nice fall break.